everybody? This is Munson Steve. This is CEO to CEO. One of the hottest urban CEOs in the true Trillville universe is my dear brother, Bun B. What's happening, man?
Man, so good to see
Welcome
you.
to CEO to CEO.
I like
What's it like CEO at Trill Burgers?
Look, man, I have one of the best jobs in the world, man. I've been able to put together a great ownership collective with myself, my partners Andy and Nick. We brought in not only great operations team led by the creators of the Trill Burger, Fernando and Chef Mike, and we've been blessed to have people who believe in this company like we do, who feel like they have a dog in this race. You know what I'm saying? Being a part of this, understand not just what we want for this burger, but what my legacy that precedes this really means to the city and myself. And so a lot of these people who work for this company take it very, very seriously, much more than just a job. And because of that, we put pleasure in leaving room for growth internally. I would love for everyone that works here to just keep moving up the line, into higher positions than other people are. People that started out in parking attendants are now team managers, are now going to be store managers as we grow as a company. And that's the beautiful thing about being the CEO. We're a place where we offer second chances to people returning home, trying to assimilate back to society. We have employees, if I look around, I'm sure there's one here now. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a second chance. We're a company that can provide that type of opportunity for people. If you stand around this restaurant or even scan right now, you see white people, you see black people, you see Asian people, you see young people, you see old people. You see that every single day. Houston is one of the most diverse cities in America, and I wanted to make sure that we built a company that allowed entry points for those people. You don't have to know who Bun B is, UGK, what Trill means, or anything to come here and have a good experience. Although understanding the culture does make it a little bit better and more immersive for people. At the very least, though, we selling food, but you leave with culture when you get it.
When you had to build your team, what were some of the decisions that were just mandatory as you built your team that have allowed you to be as successful as you are right now?
Well, the first thing people have to do is understand that they're representatives of me as a person, as an artist, and I'm a very personable person, I'm a very polite person, I'm a very kind person. So that's one of the things that we look for. People have to be as cheerful and kind as possible. I'm not in a great mood today. I got a lot of things going on, but I'm at work, and that's not for y'all to deal with. That's for me to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So when I come here and I step into this building, I'm prepared to smile, host people, make sure they're having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Help them with whatever they need, point them in the right direction, and so should everyone else that puts on that shirt and that hat and comes in as a representative of Trill Burgers. I realize that this is the service industry, and service is something I've always taken very seriously. I take it seriously for myself when I go out as a customer of other people's companies, and I assume that they take that serious when they come here to frequent my business. So I try to make sure that I'm the best host as possible, and if not, everyone here should be the best representation of this restaurant when they step through those doors.
If you had to come up with 3 Trill business commandments, what would be the 3 Trill business commandments?
Well, the first thing is, get there early and stay there late. As a CEO, I'm opening as a CEO, right? Get there early and leave late. You know what I'm saying? You have to lead by example when you own and run a company. You can't just tell people what you expect of them and then leave. You want to show people what you expect of them. Also, subtly, I want to let people know that there's no job here that I'm asking anyone to do that I haven't done or will do. So don't think you're doing me a favor, because if you don't want to do this job, that's fine. I'll do it for you until we can find someone that wants to do it. Do the job that you have. We're not begging anybody to work here. You know what I'm saying? This is a great company. We offer great incentives. We have a great team. We're very respectful. It's a very inclusive environment. So I don't think that outside of paying people a livable wage and giving them a respectful work environment, other than that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But the most important thing is to hold your coworkers down, hold your team down, and that doesn't just mean on the clock. We have been here long enough as a company to see people, get together. We form families out of Trill Burgers. People have had great ups, and we've had some people that unfortunately have had some serious downs. And so when people can't be here to be a part of this, we don't just leave them. If somebody's not well enough to work, we check on them. Someone will go and see them, we'll call them, make sure their spot's always available to them. this always has to be a home for people that help build this house.
Right.
That's key for us. So you definitely want to make sure that you're sowing into the people that are sowing into this company.
When you think about TSU, just Houston in general, the culture is so rich and diverse. But literally, if you were giving a commencement speech, what would the title of that speech at commencement would be? And what are the 3 things that you would want to challenge the next generation of Bun B's to do? And George Foreman's and all the other greats who have actually paved the way for them here. Because having an HBCU in your city gives it such a rich, fertile ground coming to term. It's not just a college, it's a university.
Absolutely. Well, I think for me, because it's me speaking, at that particular university and where it sits in this community, I would probably title my speech Third Ward for Life, because I married a woman from Third Ward. TSU sits in the heart of Third Ward, right next to Yates High School, which is a very, very strong high school with a very strong pride, sense of pride and identity in that community. And the people that tend to go to TSU end up adopting Third Ward as a second home. So I would definitely say Third Ward for life. But I think if I had to tell 3 kids coming out of there, is one, you have to know how to believe in yourself more than anyone else. No one is supposed to wake up in the morning and motivate you. They can wake up in the morning and support you. They can give you ideas. They can give you hope. And no one is supposed to make you want to get out of bed to chase your dream more than you. Right? So everything that you want in life, it starts with you. Everything you're chasing in life is on the other side of everything you're scared of. The things you're scared to do, the places you're scared to go, the company that you're scared to keep, you know what I'm saying? All the knowledge that you're scared to attain. Everything that you're scared and fearful of is exactly what's stopping you from getting where you're trying to go. So once you're willing to chase after that dream fully, in terms of navigating the obstacles and coming face to face with the things that you are fearful of the most, that's when you really begin to actually start living your life, and that's when the chase truly begins. And the third thing, the most important thing, is to have some kind of higher power to believe in, because even we as humans are fallible and typically will fall to the wayside and not have enough internally to get us through these things. That's where some kind of higher spiritual power comes in, whether it's Christianity, whether it's Judaism, Islam, whatever religion or higher power you choose. If you got to pull line your chakra up, if you got to pull your stones out, you know what I'm saying? Wave some sage. I don't judge anybody. Whatever it is that you need to do in order for you to contribute to this world in a positive way, in a way that benefits other people and teach people how to be the right thing, keep that in mind, because if you don't need anyone or anything else in life, you will need something greater than you to believe in.
Order number 548.
For all those young brothers who want to have partners, you had a partner in the music video. He's here to say, why, out of all the things, is your love so strong with the partner that you got him here present, which I love because I actually have a painting of him in my office. Why keep that understanding and that poster that was meaningful to you?
I mean, we live in a very short attention span society right now, and things get forgotten very easily. Songs, movements, trends, fashion, jewelry, cars, all of those things tend to shift and cycle out of favor. But loyalty shouldn't, right? Loyalty should never be something that falls out of favor. And friendship is something that doesn't die if one of the friends does, right? That's something that's been very important to me. I stand as an example of how everything I do now is only available because of the sacrifices I made with my brother Chad. And so, to be very honest, I also deal with a lot of survivor's guilt. You know what I'm saying? But I can take pride in knowing that I did right by my brother while he was here, and that I continue to do right by my brother even after his passing. And that's just a part of who I am as a character. You know what I'm saying? But you best believe if it's somebody that you're forgetting about, that you're not thinking about, once you go on the ground, there's going to be a lot of people that forget about you. So however you want to live it, that's up to you.
What can you share with young brothers as a CEO to stay mentally tight but give yourself grace?
You got to read. You've got to read. And the reason I say that is because everybody assumes that the journey they're on and the path they follow is unique to them. The choices you make along that path may be unique, but you're walking roads that people walk before you. You know what I'm saying? I try to read a lot of memoirs, a lot of autobiographies, a lot of people who are telling their real life story themselves, because once someone's gone, then you got to try to get the story in bits and pieces from people who may be trying to insert themselves into someone else's legacy. It's very important that I'm aware that I'm not the first person to try to build something in this way, coming from a totally different space. It doesn't mean that it's not possible, but I have to approach things in a different way than I did in previous business situations. I have to reframe the relationships that I have with customers in this space. But there are things that are similar and run concurrent and parallel that I've been able to apply. But at the end of the day, man, to stay focused, you have got to stay well read. Everybody I've talked to that has taken a company from 1 to 5 to 12 to 40 to 100 to 250, it's always been about reading and understanding what people did before you, finding out what applies, and then figuring out the rest as you go.
Lastly, Houston has a huge food scene.
Man.
So you got to see Frenchies, which clearly for me coming to Houston, going to Frenchies was definitely a thing. What's it like to see your brothers, Gatlin's, and every other spot in the city, really know that you guys are feeding culture and nurturing souls here as restaurateurs and chefs in Houston?
I didn't really understand it early on. I had a food blog for many years.
Let me look at and market, because I don't want to forget my brother.
Oh yeah, of course.
No.
I had a food blog for many years, and I really wanted to get into the business, and I wanted to expand in the space. But I didn't really understand the relationship that chefs have with their food and what the real intention was beyond taste. And I remember sitting with, it was Philip Spear, and Philip was like, the same way that you use music to express yourself and export your culture out to the world, that's what we do with food. Like, I look at every dish like a song. I look at every meal like an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm a Houstonian, so I've got to do right by the city with food in a way that y'all did right by the city with music. You know what I'm saying? So once I decided to go into the business of creating, cooking, and selling food, I had to keep that intention that those chefs taught me about in mind. Because in the same way that they didn't want to misrepresent the city in their space, and the space that they were used to, and I didn't want to misrepresent the city in the space that I had been used to, this was a new space. I was moving into their space. So I didn't want to, one, become a member of a club and not contribute to anything, but even worse, put some shit on the club's name. Like, I didn't want to forget my language. That's not what I wanted to do, and that's not who I wanted to be. But luckily, these people gave me a lot of great advice. They gave me pointed us in a lot of directions as far as resources, getting equipment, permitting, things that we needed during pop-ups, all the way up to opening these bricks and mortars, point us in the right direction with real estate consultants and all of these different things, because they realized that this food was real. They realized that this concept was legitimate and that we were going to get a lot of attention. So everybody just wanted to help us to make sure that everybody was doing the best that they could the right way to represent the city. It's kind of like, I don't know if you're a gambling man, if you ever played blackjack or you ever sat at the table at blackjack. But somebody that doesn't know how to play blackjack sits at the table and plays the game wrong, everybody at the table loses. So it's always best for the people at the table to help the new guy be like, hey, don't hit on that.
Right.
It's not illegal to tell somebody don't hit on it. You know what I'm saying? And you tell them, you got this, they got that, he's gonna bust, right? So just trust us on this. And things will work out. So we all got to hold each other down, because at the end of the day, if we win, the city wins. And that's all we want, is for Houston to look right. That's all we ever wanted. With the music, the food, everything. We just want to make sure the city look right.
Cool. Well, thank you for being on CEO to CEO, Bun B.
Man, thank y'all
This
so much.
Trill brand, this Trill is a real thing. But
Thank you,
just
sir.
the love that you continue to give us, we appreciate here rolling out. CEOs of the future, the CEO of the present, we love you. Peace.
Yo, what's up? This is Trill OG Bun B, repping UGK for life. You know what I'm saying? Long live the pimp, live from Trill Burgers. You already know what I'm saying. It's fresh off of filming the episode of CEO, the CEO. And as always, make sure you stay tuned in to roll it out.